Welcome back to A to Z here on Locked On Sports Atlanta, free on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Search Locked On Sports Atlanta. Final segment of the show brought to you by our friends at Rock Auto. And before we get to life after Freddie Freeman for the Atlanta Braves, it's now time for Shovels of Wisdom.
Brace yourselves, because it's time for the Shovel of Wisdom.
Yeah, you know how we do it. Every day we love to whack somebody upside the head, set them straight with a shovel of wisdom. You can do so at Mark Zinno on Twitter. Just use the hashtag shovel of wisdom. And today my shovel goes to Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson. You know, when you say the name Adrian Peterson and Le'Veon Bell, the first thing that theoretically should pop in your head is NFL Hall of Fame. Both of them were done being running backs in the NFL. Both of them had very prolific careers. I don't know if they're both get in. Peterson will get in. Peterson definitively will get in. Bell might be a question mark, but nonetheless, they're getting a shovel wisdom for things they're choosing to do outside of football, and that's now mainly box each other. They have both signed heavyweight boxing exhibition contracts to fight on July 30th at Crypto.com Arena in Los Angeles. It's their first fight in the ring. This is an exhibition that will officially mark the start of their pro boxing debuts. But what is it with these athletes, these former football players, and these former pros who decide to just think that they can box everybody? This is stupid. You're going to get hurt. Don't do this. It's dumb. I mean, Frank Gore just did it. He fought NBA All-Star Deron Williams in an exhibition, undercard of the Jake Paul Tyron Woodley second fight. And then Gore made his pro debut in May with a fourth round knockout. So I guess he can fight. I didn't watch because I don't like to watch washed up football players box each other. I think it's dumb. But that said, apparently there's a market for this stuff. I just wish they do it, man. Go enjoy retirement. Don't you have enough CTE? What do you need more for? Like, what do you need more of getting pounded in the head for? Like, doing it for 15 years in the NFL wasn't good enough for you. Now you decide you want to do something else. I don't understand it. I literally do not understand the desire for these former running backs and athletes to do this. So, anyway, all right, let's pivot here to the Atlanta Braves because they have now 20 games left before the All-Star break. 20 games left. They are 10 games over 500 with 20 games left. So the only way that they would finish below 500 by the All-Star break was for them to go 5-15. That would put them at 500. So they have to finish 4-16. And with 7 against the Nationals and 3 against the Reds, 10 of those 20 games are against teams below 500. 10 of them are against teams with above 500 records, starting with the Phillies tonight in Philadelphia. Charlie Morton's back on the mound. Let's see if he can continue this streak that he's on, because if he can get back to being the guy that he's been in his last 2 starts, that's a huge lift for the Braves. But it's interesting because they are going to play a good team and a bad team, a good team and a bad team, and a good team and a bad team the rest of the way out. Philadelphia, Cincinnati, St. Louis, Washington, Mets, Washington. And of course, all eyes on that Mets series starting on Monday, July 11th. And again, I think it's the longest homestand the Braves have all year long. It starts on July 4th, and it goes all the way through July 13th. So it'll be 10 games. I think they're in 11 days, 3, 4. You do 10 games in 10 days. Yeah, it's all consecutive. So not a single day off. And that's a stretch right there between St. Louis and the Mets where you really got to buckle down and start to win and start to recognize those teams as your chief competition as you get set for October. You just had a series with the Dodgers. It was fun and it was exciting, and Freddie Freeman and all the other stuff, but it was a series that you lost. And that's problematic. And that's, you don't want to lose those series against big teams. But there are keys to this team doing what they're supposed to be doing and getting into the All-Star break at about 12 to 13 games above 500. Tell you what that is here in just a moment, but just want to remind you guys that with the ever-increasing numbers of makes and models, it's now impossible for your local chain auto parts store to stock all the parts that you need. Why endure the often pointless and seemingly intimidating questions? Oh, is that your Honda out there? Is that your Cadillac? Well, the person behind the counter is just clacking away in the computer, choosing only their brand of parts that they carry in their warehouse. You have computers at home, and RockAuto.com is the place to go and keep cash in your pocket. You'll save time and money when using Rock Auto. Why choose to spend 30, 50, even 100% more for the same parts from the chain store or a car dealership? Rock Auto is a family business serving do it yourself customers for over 20 years. Rock Auto prices are reliably low for every single customer. So go to rockauto.com right now and see all the parts available for your car or truck, right? Locked on in there. How did you hear about us box? So you know that we sent you. Amazing selection, reliable low prices, all the parts you'll ever need for your car at rockauto.com. So the Braves, when they start this series with Philadelphia, in Philadelphia tonight, and then to Cincinnati, uh, these first six games are sort of tone setters and table setters. And the real question is are we going to have Ronald Acuna? No word yet on whether he's going to play tonight after that bone bruise or at least the foul ball off of his foot. I think they probably will hold him out, maybe a game or two, maybe even sit him the whole series. Look, if he goes on the IL, that could be problematic. But it wouldn't surprise me again if they do it, especially against Philadelphia, Cincinnati. Despite the fact that Philadelphia is above 500, only 3 games behind you in the standings, it's probably more opportune to to sit him down earlier and try to get him back by the time you return home on July 4th for the St. Louis Cardinals. Give him an extra week off if they want to put him on the IL, 7-day IL, 10-day, whatever is set up retroactive. Who knows? Whatever they want to do. But nonetheless, give him the extra time off and make sure you can get back by the St. Louis series. If they want to just gut it out through the Philadelphia series and see what happens from there, I'm okay with that as well. But I think in general, this is a careful way to play this because, yeah, this series against the Mets is what everybody's going to have their eyes on. They're going to treat that like everything it's supposed to be, a race of the two best teams in the NL East, one of whom is the defending World Series champion. And don't think for one second that Truist Park won't be slammed on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night in mid-July, because it absolutely will be. So, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But before you get to that, you got to take care of business early. And the easiest thing to do to keep yourself comfortable is go beat up on Philadelphia and certainly go beat up on Cincinnati. You haven't seen them since the first series of the year. They took 2 or 3 from you then. They're a better team than what their record shows. I think if you're objective about it, they are. They just dug themselves a 3-23 hole, whatever the hell it was to start the season. But you're still better than they are, and you still have better pitching than they do. And so these first 6 games are such tone setters for the rest of the first half here, and that big homestand they have against St. Louis, Washington, and the Mets. And oh, by the way, if you really want to forecast down the road, for the Mets series, you would get Fried in game 1, Strider in game 2, and Morton for the day game in game 3 at Truist Park. So again, forecasting a little bit farther down the road than we need to, but still worthwhile to do. I'd love to see this team 12, possibly 15 games above 500 when it's all said and done. And they don't even have to, they don't have to be great to get there. They really just got to go 14-6, which is good. And that puts them, right where they need to be as far as number of games over 500. So it's very doable for them given the competition that they're playing, especially when 10 of those games are against the Nats and the Reds, who are all below 500. And that's where they really got to take advantage. All right, that'll do it for us here on this Tuesday. Make sure you guys give me a follow on Twitter at Mark Zinno. You guys follow all the shows here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Back tomorrow for a Wednesday edition. You guys have a great day. Don't take the crap from anybody. See ya.